Will silver and gold save you in an SHTF scenario? How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Empire Precious Metals. Thanks so much for watching today. I wanted to talk to you about silver and gold, particularly as it relates to an SHTF scenario. That means poop hits the fan, for those of you that don't know what the acronym means. And this is an important topic because this is something that is widely discussed within the stacking world and people that buy precious metals on a continual basis. I've talked about it so many times on this channel as to whether or not silver and gold can save you in an SHTF scenario. And also, I have always said that I don't think in a time of an economic collapse or an SHTF situation, I don't think that people are going to necessarily be using silver, dimes, and quarters, etc., as a way of bartering and buying and selling stuff. But before I get into all of that, I do want to let you know I'm going to feed this idea through AI. We are going to look at what AI, specifically ChatGPT, says about using precious metals in an SHTF scenario. And I might be wrong, who knows? We'll see what the robot says. That being said, I just want to say a couple things. What got me big into stacking precious metals and into like a prepper's kind of mentality were a couple of things. Number one, the 2003 blackout in the Northeast. Major blackout. For those of you that don't know about it or don't recall, I happened to be working in New York City at the time, and there was just a huge blackout that affected the entire Northeast all the way out towards Ohio. And it was crazy. And that opened my eyes to being prepared, at least to having a go bag or something on your person that can save you. Luckily, I had some cash on me. I didn't have a ton, didn't have a flashlight or anything like that. Now, I always have a knife on me. I always have a flashlight on me. I always have cash on me. I always have my water full. And there's a few other things that I always keep with me just in case of an emergency. Now, when it comes to stacking precious metals for maybe a longer term SHTF scenario, I don't typically, stack precious metals for that purpose. In fact, I'm stacking it for long-term wealth preservation and as a supplement to my future retirement. That being said, when Hurricane Katrina happened, you saw so many people affected by this tragedy that were essentially abandoned for 3 weeks to, I would say, at least a few months, but they didn't have power. Things were getting very chaotic, and you very well know that people will turn on each other in times of desperation. So personally, though, when it comes to stacking precious metals, I feel like a lot of online retailers, they'll say to you that you need to buy junk silver for SHTF scenarios, and if there's an economic collapse, that's going to be what is used as currency. So let us just check what ChatGPT says. All right, so what can I help with? Will silver and gold be used for barter in a complete economic collapse? The key thing here is that timing, right? We could talk about near-term or short-term collapses, maybe like from 1 to 3 months, or are we talking years? So let's see what the robot says here. I'm going to have to zoom in a bit on my screen so that way you guys can see it, or I'll just read it to you. It says, in a complete economic collapse, especially one involving hyperinflation, breakdown of fiat currency, or severe disruption or banking system, silver and gold could be used for barter, but with some important caveats. All right, so let's see here. Why they might be used. Historical precedent. Precious metals have been used as money for thousands of years and often reemerge in crises during Weimar Germany, Argentina's collapse, or Zimbabwe. Universal value. Gold and silver are globally recognized as valuable, unlike local fiat currency. Portability and divisibility, especially silver. Silver coins are more useful for everyday barter than gold because of their lower value per unit. All right, so challenges. Recognition and trust. This is what I think is going to be a major issue when it comes to using silver or gold in an economic collapse or an SHTF scenario. Not everyone will recognize or trust the purity or value of a gold or silver item unless it is well known. So silver eagles, Canadian maple leafs, etc. And I guess that's one of the arguments that a lot of stackers and preppers use when it comes to justifying the purchase of constitutional silvers, that people recognize quarters, etc. Lack of divisibility for gold. A 1-ounce gold coin might be worth thousands of dollars. Hard to use for small transactions unless you also have fractional denominations or silver to complement it, which we also know. And a lot of people talk about fractional gold and the importance of stacking fractional gold. Storage and security. Precious metals are targets for theft. Storing them securely in lawless scenario could be difficult. Truth. Lack of immediate utility. In the very short term, people may prioritize food, water, fuel, medicine over metals. Barter systems could evolve and revolve more around practical goods. All right, so that's what I was saying in the beginning of this screen share here, is that in the short term, you're going to have people using like everyday items that you need, things that you need to essentially live on a day-to-day basis, whether it be toilet paper, drinking water, food, etc. But long term, which is also what I said at the beginning of this video, right? There's two different types of things. And long term, probably it would be more likely that it would be used. So here, likely scenario. In the initial shock, barter might center around essential goods, food, ammo, fuel. I think all of us within the stacking community can agree to that point. As things stabilize, or if a black market economy emerges, gold and silver could become a trusted medium of exchange, especially among prepared or informed individuals. All right, well, I guess that the robot, ChatGPT, I guess it says that, yes, it can be used, which I also say, yeah, it can be used. Will it be used? I don't know. Should we ask it? What do we ask it? I don't know what to ask this thing. Whatever. You guys can ask your own versions of ChatGPT on your own, whether or not gold and silver will be used in an SHTF scenario. But something short term, without like a complete and total economic collapse, people will be just trading goods. A lot of people that have maybe cash on hand will be using cash. But if an entire government collapses and it's a very long-term economic collapse or an SHTF scenario, then you might see gold and silver possibly used until another fiat system emerges, because that's more likely than not going to be what ends up happening in that type of scenario. But who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, and I've never lived in the future in an apocalyptic world. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Can silver and gold save you in an SHTF scenario? And if you found this video helpful, please make sure you blast that subscribe button. And again, hit that bell notification so you get notified when my content comes out. And I will see you on the next one.